ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, we have studied in great detail the 50th shloka of the second chapter, a portion known as Sthita Prajna's Lakshana. Now, we have to remind ourselves that it is not only an intellectual or a rational study. This study has to be transformed in such a manner, assimilated and absorbed in such a manner, that it transforms our personality and we become a better specimen of a human being than what we are. This is the secret of this study, and all the effort that goes into these discourses, the efforts are oriented towards one goal, that we profit ourselves from this study, not by being an erudite scholar, but helping ourselves to transform our personality, to make ourselves a better specimen of a human being. Please don't forget this idea. We are studying here for one purpose, to be one with God. To be one with God. Now, what is the methodology? The methodology is very simple, dear. Let me give you a worldly example, and then that example will help you to exemplify our goal. Say, for instance, somebody here does something which to my thinking is extremely wrong, should never have been done. I first dislike it, then I get annoyed, I get disgusted, then I get angry, and that anger seizes me totally as if I'm going to blow my top off. Anger has totally seized me. This is how we say. I'm totally saturated with anger. It is a passion, and I know what anger is. And if I wait and think a while, I will also understand how it got generated. To the extent that I am totally angry and I have lost my sense of discretion or discrepancy. You are a friend of mine. You feel, if I do not quieten down Swamiji, he may have a stroke, he may have a heart attack. So you, being a good friend of mine, you come to me and you try to pacify me. All right, Swami, it has happened, don't bother, forget about it, and etc. And you want to pat my back to calm me down. You are my best friend, but I am so much saturated with anger, I get hold of your hand, throw it away, and say, go to hell. My discretion is gone. I am asking my best friend to go to hell. Why? Because he has come to help me. And my anger is so possessing me that the sense of discretion, good, bad, and etc., has all disappeared. I say, I am totally saturated with anger. Now, the catch point is, I have that capacity to saturate myself with an idea which is known as a passion and anger. I have the capacity to saturate myself. This is a fact of life. This is an example. I have the capacity to saturate myself with an idea. That idea is known as anger or passion. Now, this is an example. Let us go to the exemplification. What is the exemplification? If I have the capacity to saturate myself with any of the 6 propensities, maybe nobler qualities, forgiveness, forbearing, softness, sweetness, compassion, I get saturated. Either they are good or they are bad. If that is so, why don't I cultivate that type of education, educating myself, that I cultivate the awareness of presence of the divine already which is within me? I have been forgetful. Let me remind myself to get rid of my forgetfulness. Am I wrong? Is it impractical? I have the capacity to saturate myself with an idea or a passion or a noble passion, whatever it may be. Example has showed me I do have an idea. When I'm in deep grief, I know when some dear and near one passes away, we are so sad, we are so much besieged by grief. Nothing helps us. Time is the best healer. What has happened? All my faculties, my discretion, etc., has been made null and void because that grief has saturated. I have the capacity to be saturated, to get saturated by situations. This is a fact of life which we cannot deny from commonsensical point of view. Now, exemplification. The idea that the divine is everywhere. I am part and parcel of everywhere. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. Brahman is everywhere. It is permeating everything. I am a part and parcel of Sarvam. I can't say no to it. Then is it proper for me to analyze that the divine is in me also? And somehow or other, I have totally forgotten. And not only forgotten, if somebody reminds me, I remember for a while and then I forget again. So, is there any possibility with determination, dedication, devotion, with an unbreakable willpower, if I constantly strive to saturate myself slowly and steadily with the idea the divine is in me and I am in the divine. This I is a misnomer. In reality, it is the reflection of the divine in my mind stuff, in my chitta. If I keep on repetitively thinking over it and constantly remind myself by this process of repetitiveness, abhyasat, by this process of repetitiveness, habit-forming repetitiveness, I inculcate in myself the awareness of presence of God. I am educating myself. And then a time will come when I'll be totally saturated and I find out my lost identity. I was identifying myself as an individual. Now, by repetitive efforts, I have found out my way back to myself and I know I am what I am. I am the divine. Can we not educate ourselves this way? We have the capacity. We have the capacity to saturate us with an idea. This willful, determined, dedicated, devoted procedure is known as sadhana. Back-breaking effort to reach the goal. All of these shlokas that we have been reading is, they only directed towards this. All that you need to do is withdraw your involvement because of your attachment to the external world and bring it inwards. And behave like a tortoise. Don't go out of your shell till you know you are one with God. Create a shell within itself. What is that shell? Shell. Awareness of presence of God in my life. From this point of view, from this commonsensical point of view, any person with the meanest common sense will say, yes, it is doable, it is performable, and it is doable, performable, therefore it is achievable, attainable. You are, by this example, you are convincing yourself that this methodology is as much valid as all other methodologies of getting involved. Why don't we get involved with God? This is the essential teaching of this last section of the second chapter, known as study of Sthita Pragya's Lakshana. Study of the signs and symptoms, description, mannerism, behavior pattern of a realized soul. Why? We have a guideline. That is how he behaves. He never forgets his own true original nature, which is the divine. Let me inculcate myself by repetitive thinking, creating a habit that God is in me, I am in Him. What I know as I am is a mistaken identity, is a misconception, is a misnomer. I am verily the divine, somehow or other, because of the ignorance of my true original nature, I have created a sense of separateness between me and my true original nature. That is what I have done. So these shlokas, dear, gives you a catch. How you can hold on to yourself. Withdraw yourself from external world and be attached to your true original nature. We have read the previous shloka, the shloka number 58, where he gives an example of a tortoise. Withdraw, as a tortoise withdraws his head and neck and the 4 feet into his shell and is protected. You please withdraw yourself from the outward journey and start your journey within yourself to find an answer to the perennial question, who am I? What am I? Then I had introduced to you during the last class the shloka number 59. There are 2 aspects of this shloka. One was, I told you, that by self-discipline, you have developed such a willpower that you don't show any passion. You are always cool and collected. But anger torments you, but you have that self-control, you don't express it. Greed torments you, you have so much of a control, you don't express it. That is, you don't express don't manifest or express the force of 6 passions: desire, anger, temptation, avarice, vanity and arrogance, and jealousy. They are within you, but like a good, educated gentleman, you don't make a show of it. People will say, oh, he has a total self-control. Total self. We don't see any semblance of anger, any sense of anything there. He's poised. He's as cool as a cucumber. And you will think, I have achieved that. But you do not know. The root cause is there. You are getting angry. You are getting tempted. You are getting arrogant. But you don't make a show. And people look your externals, your external behavior. Oh my, he's a realized soul. And you started feeling, I am a realized. But the Vesuvius is flowing within you. Such situation arises. People tend to make a misjudgment, and by that capacity to control external manifestation of your passion, people think you are a realized soul, and because say so, you start thinking so. That is hypocrisy, that is self-deception. This is one aspect. Then there is another aspect. Say, for instance, I am slowly becoming senile. I am 95. Dementia is getting a hold of me. I am becoming senile. So I don't show any anger. I don't show any temptation, any greed, any avarice, any vanity. I behave like a child. Because of what? Because of senility, because of dementia. Do you mean to say I'm a realized soul? I'm a diseased person. The signs and symptoms of the disease is non-expression. That does not make me a sthita prajna. So we humans, we are carried away by external manifestation, external signs and symptoms, and we sit on judgment. Oh, he's a bad man. Oh, he's a good man. Oh, he's a realized soul. There is no change in him. We keep on talking. And when I hear they talk about me like that, I'm liable to think I am that. It pampers my ego. It satisfies my arrogance and vanity. What's the harm? People say so, so I am so. But either have that strong self-control or I am suffering from dementia and senility. Both the extremes are the same. Externally I am poised, I am serene. There is no expression of excitement in me. Am I a sthita prajna? No. You are not. Why? Because rasha varjam rashopyascha param drishtva nivartate. Let us read this shloka now. This is the second line of this verse. What does he say? Vishaya vinivartante niraharascha dehinaha rashavarjam rashopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Let us read the shloka now, word by word, because I've been able to create a platform for you to understand. Vishaya vinivartante, the first quarter of the shloka, 1/4 of the shloka. Vishaya, Vishaya is singular, Vishaya is plural. Why plural? Rupa, Rasha, Sabda, Gandha, Sparsha. Eyes have an object, form, Rupa, Rasa is the tongue, Shabda is the ear, Gandha is the nose, Rupa, Rasha, Shabda, Gandha, Sparsha is the 5 sense organs and 5 relevant objects. Philosophically, or from this standpoint of view, our sthita prajna's view, philosophically, that is what is happening all the time. Now, vinivartante. Nivartante, vinivartante. Vartante. It is strongly held. Nivartante. You don't hold it. And you don't hold it at all. No compromise. Always remember, when it is defined so negatively, never ever think with the farthest stretch of imagination you live in vacuum. I say, you please don't get involved. Not to get involved in spiritual life, because we are living, throbbing entities, we can't live in vacuum. So whenever such extraordinary negative sentiments are mentioned, always remember as an axiomatic truth, you are fully involved in some positive thinking. You are busy elsewhere. Therefore, you have no time to be attached. Vishaya vinivartante. Vartante is to be. How? Being attached to the things of the world. That is natural. Nivartante. Please withdraw. How do you withdraw? You don't live in vacuum. You can't live in vacuum. So, vinivartante means you withdraw because you are totally involved here. What is that here? Awareness of presence of the divine every moment of your life. You are so involved in that, you have no time, no space, no energy, no intention, no inclination to be involved with the world. Nira aharasya dehina, the second quarter. Dehina means one he who lives in this body, Jiva Atma, this I, as we know today. I, my name, my form, my qualities, and etc. He, Nira ahara, aharyate iti ahara. What does it mean? Ahara means to eat. There's a literal meaning. But grammatical, etymological meaning means aharyate iti ahara. Aharyate means aharanam karoti. I gather, I gather, I gather. And it is all in the mental, it's all psychological. I absorb, I absorb, I absorb. I assimilate, I assimilate, I assimilate. Nirahara. I have no capacity to assimilate anymore because I am old, I am degenerating, I am seized of dementia, I am seized of old age senility. So I don't react. That stage is not the state of Sthitadhi Purusha. Rashavarjam, deep down within yourself, that root is still there, which you have not been able to uproot, the root of enjoying this world, interacting with this world. That is deep within the Jiva Atman who has not experienced oneness with the divine. Now, psychologically, let us see what is the import of this teaching so that we thrash it threadbare. Nothing remains unknown to us as far as sadhana is concerned. Willful, determined performance of discipline. What is it, dear? I am born in such a way, as I have told you before, the Kathopanishad explains to you, automatically my 5 sense organs go outwards. And I am involved with the outward world. With this involvement, I develop raga, dvesha, bhaya, krodha. What does it mean? While interacting in the world, I develop a liking for something, I develop disliking for something, I develop hate for something, and I develop such deep attachment that I can die for it. This is how I live my life. It is automatic. Why it is automatic? Because I've been doing it for lives together. What to speak of 90 years of this life? I've been doing this for lives together, past lives. So I have made myself a slave of this habit of life and living with an outward journey generating all these passions. Deep abiding hatred, dislike, annoyance, disgust, likes, appreciation, admiration, deep attachment, and attachment to such a depth I can bet my life on it. I may die in the process, but I will. This is how I live. Now, I am an old man, or I am a diseased man, and I can't do all that. But the desire is still in me. Why this desire? Because I do not know what my true original nature is. I am everywhere. And I'll give you a very concrete example, an eye-opener for you. Sri Ramakrishna was sick of malignancy of the throat, cancer of the throat. Slowly and slowly and slowly, that sore went up to such an extent he could not swallow anything. His children, the direct disciples, 16 of them, "Sir, the Divine Mother of the universe has accepted you as your child. She never says no to you. Why don't you request her to allow food to go down your throat? Why don't you pray to her to eat and to survive and to live?" They were so insistent, they were so honest, and they were so sincere. Sri Ramakrishna did not have, because of affection for them, to say no to them. All right, I'll pray. He admitted, I'll pray to the to my mother. So let it happen. Let me be able to eat. Let her give me this boon. After a while, he really tried. And then after a while, he returns to the children, those who have been imploring him to do so. "I'll never listen to you, my children. My mother rebuked me." "Rebuked you? Why, sir? You didn't ask for anything bad. You only wanted." "The mother showed me," putting her hand around the world, "you are eating through so many mouths. What does it matter with this mouth doesn't eat? You're eating there." The mother reminded Sri Ramakrishna his samadarshitva. He had achieved that level of spiritual awareness where he saw himself. Sarva bhuteshu virajati. He is everywhere. That everywhereness is not in me. The separateness is in me. That is why I want to have. I think because of my limited understanding, acquisition of the things of the world will make me complete. what will make me complete is to know my true original nature. Rasa, Ranjana Rupa, very, very softly, sweetly pleasant. Very pleasant attitude. I enjoy it. Grossly, subtly, most subtly. I enjoy. That the sense of enjoyment with the world is rasa. Param drishtva rasa nivartate. Where you see that oneness as your true original nature, the question of acquisition that not arise. Everything is me. Abhayam sarva bhuteshu matta sarvam pravartate. This is one of the vows in a situation. We take that vow. What is that vow? I have nothing to be a cause of fear to the whole world. Why should they fear me? I am one with them. He who resides in them resides in me, and I am that. Rasam param drishtva nivartate. That is, I will only be able to totally withdraw from this world. Be nivartante. Be nivartate. Vartate, nivartate, binivartate. 3 words put together. I have this. What is that? The natural propensity of getting attached to the world or annoyed with the world. Raga, dvesha, they're obverse and reverse of the same coin. That is spontaneous with me for lives together. Why? Because I do not know my true original nature. What is my original nature? I am everywhere. Sarvam khalu idam brahma, ayam atma apitu brahma, aham brahmasmi. This is the formula. The whole cosmos is that essence of the universe. I belong to the universe. Therefore, that is in me, and I must realize that. Aham Brahmasmi is a manifestation in words of that realization. He says here in this shloka now, 2 aspects of a human. One is self-control, and the other is a diseased man who has no capacity to get involved. Both of them are liable to make a mistake that I am a realized soul. I am not involved. It is wrong. Desire to get involved has not yet been uprooted. It will only be uprooted when param drishtva nivartate, when you identify yourself, abhinnataya gamyate is nivartate. Drishtva nivartate. Abhinnataya, but without any self of separateness, you are one with the essence of the universe, call it by any name. Brahman, Atman, Sunnam, Alak Niranjam, Torah, Holy Ghost, Spirit, Allah, Khuda, Musha. We are not bothered. The essence is one. And you identify yourself with that essence. Now let me read the shloka. The groundwork has been prepared. Vishaya vinivartante. Such a person who totally withdraws himself from this world, either by tremendous self-control, by being not expressive. He's stoic, he's as cool as a cucumber. Or he has lost it. Niraharasya dehina. He resides in this body, but he has lost that capacity physically and mentally. Rashavarjam. The root cause of attachment, that separateness, varjam, means it is devoid of that. It is only physical level. I am unable to enjoy, and I will not enjoy. But my desire to enjoy is there. Until unless that desire is uprooted, you do not fall in the category of being called a sthita pragya, a sthitadhi muni. Rasho varjam, the rasha, the desire of enjoyment generated by a sense of separateness. I am separate from this world. Once you permeate yourself with the whole world is yours. You have nothing to ask, nothing to see for. That's what it is. You don't desire. The quotient of desire has disappeared because there's nothing more to have. The whole cosmos is in me, and I am in the cosmos. That situation happens when param drishtva nivartate. That will only happen when you get rid of this separateness and you identify yourself with that sublime. He says here, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rashavarjam raso opi asya. His, that attachment will only go param drishtva, when you are aware of your true original nature. Then only the hold of raga, the hold of attachment will totally go from you. Hold of rasa will totally go out of you. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rashavarjam rasha api asya param drishtva nivartate. Let us move on to the next shloka. He is highlighting, Sri Krishna is highlighting where we stand without frightening you. He is warning you that it is not an easy task. It may take lives together to reach that goal. So he is warning you that if you are a little relaxed, a little inattentive, a little slow, your sense organs and the desire to enjoy will get hold of you and take you for a ride. That is what he wants to tell you in shloka number 60. Let me read it for you. Jatato hiopi kaudeya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prashabhang manaha. As simple as that. He Kuntiputra Arjuna Kaunteya Vipaschita Purusha. Vipaschita means a man who has understood it rationally, thoroughly well. You, me and everybody, we are studying it. Rationally we are studying it and we have understood it thoroughly well that my sense organs and my mind has to be totally under my control. No excuse. And having controlled that, I concentrate on my true original nature and be aware of it. With that awareness, the control part goes. I see myself everywhere. The question of attachment, anger, and lust does not arise. He says here, Vipaschita Purusha. A man who is very discriminative, very discreet, very alert, and he's at that game with full vigor. In spite of that, Jatata hi api kaunteya, he Kuntiputra, though you are continuously performing your disciplines thoroughly, correctly, properly, and you know full well what you are doing, why you are doing, how you are doing. You are aware of everything. But mind you, my dear friend, mind you, my child Arjuna, Indriyani pramathini, pramathana shilani. What does it mean? Indriyani, my 5 sense organs. Chakshu, Karna, Nasha, Jiva, Tvacha. My 5 sense organs. Pramathini. What is pramathini? Pramathana shilani. Wonderful. Manthana, you know, to churn. Sagara manthana, and you use your manthana to prepare chach. You use manthana to prepare your very tasty dishes. You churn it. And there is a churner. And you do the churning. Here, your sense organs are the churner. And they are beyond your control if you are a bit slack or relaxed on your effort. Indriyani pramathana shilani. They are very strong. They are very strong churners. And if you are a little relaxed on your oars, if you are a little slack, the sense organs will start churning your mind and steal it away. It will take you for a ride. And all of a sudden, you'll remember, I've lost my track. It will do it so suddenly, so quietly, so stealthily. Be aware, be careful. So he is warning you that in this journey, which is not an easy one. He has told you beforehand. It is not an easy one. I sweat blood and tears for you. I swear blood and tears for you. He tells you it is not an easy one. It will take the last ounce of your strength and your determination and your willpower. However wise, however discreet, however knowing you may be, Kunteya, Kuntiputra Arjuna, my friend, my cousin, brother, and through him to all of us, the students, however you may be, Vipashchita, discriminative, etc., 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 you are liable to be taken out for a ride if you are not alert all the time. He will take you away. He will steal yourself. He will steal you out of your mind, and after quite a while, with a knock on your head, will wake up and say, "Oh dear me, what a mistake I have been making." That is the capacity of the force of your sense organs and your old samskaras, your old trends and tendencies. Now, this is a very, very dark picture, very frightening picture. We are scared, and because scared, the first tendency to run away. He doesn't want you to run away. He will tell you in the next breath, in the next shloka, what is the answer to this problem, which as soon as you hear, you sigh a breath of relief. You sigh a breath of relief. That you breathe a sigh of relief. Oh dear me, it is so easy. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita mat paraha vashehi jasya indriyani tasya pragya pratishtita. What is it? Tani sarvani samyamya. Don't let go your effort. Continue your effort to control the outward movement of your mind. How do you control the outward movement of your mind? You don't blind yourself. You don't deafen yourself. Don't burn your nostrils. Nothing doing. You live in this world. Educate to see the divine everywhere. You are controlling the waywardness of the mind, and you are cutting at the root of raga and dvesha. Tani sarvani samyamya. Samyamana. It is not subjugation, it is management, it is sublimation. Samyamana means you manage it in such a manner that you sublimate it, you don't try to separate it. What is sublimation? Seeing the divine in this godless world. As of now, today to you and me, God doesn't exist. You are educating yourself to be aware of the presence of God every moment of your life. That is samyamana. That is controlling your indriyas. That is how you are trying to divinize yourself through self-imposed discipline. Tani sarvani samyamya. How do you do that? What is the positive aspect? Yukta asit matparaha. Take shelter under me. Make me your goal of life. Make me your goal of life and take shelter under me. I am there to help you, Krishna. Go there. I am there to help you, the serious readers of the Gita. Yukta, be always in communion with me. Constant awareness of presence of God is Yoga Yukta Munir Brahma. Be constantly aware of my presence in your life and live in this world with your 5 sense organs. They are so controlled. You see the divine, you hear the divine, you smell the divine, you touch the divine, you taste the divine. Nothing but the divine in your life. That is samyamana, sublimation by management of your direction of the mind. The mind directionlessly moves, you direct it to another. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vashehi jasya indriyani tasya pragya pratishtita. He who has with all his might and main, with all his strength and determination and courage, has his sense organs under his control. He allows the sense organs to go to the world, but he sees to it that they are interacting with the awareness of presence of the divine every moment of my life. Bashehi jasya indriyani tasya pragya, his wisdom, his maturity is stable. Where that stability comes from experience, the inseparateness with the soul, the Jivatma merges with Parama Atma. The river water merges with the ocean through the estuary. This is what it is. So the fright that had been generated in the previous shloka, oh dear me, it is so difficult. I am afraid I am not worth it. I can't do it. Let him go. Let me go back. He doesn't want you to leave. So he says, Yukta Asita Matpara. Underline those 4 words. Yukta Asita Matpara. This is a secret to your success. Don't get afraid. Carry on. Do it according to your capacity. Don't overdo. Do it properly, correctly, thoroughly, efficiently, regularly, excellently. And slowly, with my help and taking shelter under me and my compassionate guidance, you will be able to reach that goal and you will be worthy of being called Sthitadhi. Tasya pragya pratishtita. You are Sthita pragya Purusha. Well, dears, we stop here the shloka number 61. We start another subject from the shloka number 62, and I'll take it up next time when I'm here to discuss the Gita with you. Thank you, dears. Thank you ever so much for your undivided attention and your patience. May God help us all. Thank you.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna